Hey everybody, I'm Danielle Liu with We Print You Press DTF Transfers. Today I'm going to show you how to create a Father's Day apron that looks professionally designed without needing to be a graphic designer. We're going to use Creative Fabrica and Kittl to easily create this custom barbecue apron that has some personalization on here. And I'm also going to show you an alternative if you don't want to use actual photographs. We'll go ahead and use some stick figures to make this fun. So stay tuned and I will walk you through the process. All right, so the first thing we want to do is go over to Creative Fabrica, and I will have links to all of these resources in the description of the video. So if you don't have a Creative Fabrica account at this point, would encourage you to grab one if you use the link below. And we do make a little bit of a commission on that, but at no additional cost to you. And you'll also get, I believe it's either a discounted rate or potentially a free trial for a bit. But what I did was I first came in to Creative Fabrica and I did a quick search for Polaroid frame, and it came up with a bunch of different options. I just kind of scrolled through, found one that I like. Of course, it's taking forever to load. And you can see they've got a lot of different fun designs that you can choose from. Once you have your membership with Creative Fabrica, you can pretty much download everything that you see at no additional cost. So it's really a great resource for creating your own designs. And so I believe this was the one that I had downloaded here. So it's basically just a simple black kind of outline. I am utilizing the SVG format, which is going to also allow you to change the color of the item if you want. And again, I'll show you how to do that in Kittl in just a moment. And then I did a quick search for some stick figures. I found this cute bundle here. When you download this bundle, all of these little characters are individual files, so you can easily import those into Kittl and kind of lay them out however you would like. And then I did a search for kind of a Father's Day grill theme because what I wanted to be able to do was create a Father's Day barbecue apron. And you could always go with, a different theme. You could put it on a t-shirt, whatever, fits either your needs or your client if you are sharing this on Facebook or other social media platforms trying to generate orders. What I would do is encourage creating a few different mock-ups, something that's maybe an apron, something that is a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, it could go on a tote bag, really anything that you could think of that a dad might find useful. So I found this design here. I went ahead and downloaded that. And I'll just show you, when you click the download button, it's basically going to find its way right into your downloads folder. And let me go ahead and open my download folder. Okay, so when you first download them, they're going to come in as this, what's called a zip file. So the first thing you want to do is just click on it to select it. And then when you click extract all, you're going to get this prompt here. And basically you want to click extract. And since I've already downloaded this and I've already extracted it, it's asking if I want to replace or skip. I'm just going to hit replace. And then what it's going to do is now it's opening that new folder. These are your individual designs, and you can see that you're getting them in several different formats. So this one here is your SVG file. This is a PNG file. I believe this is an EPS file. So if you have like Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW, you'd be able to open this in those files. And then to be honest with you, I honestly don't even know what this file format is used for. I'll have to Google that afterwards. But for the purpose of this project, you won't need that file. So you can see I've extracted each of these. And so now I can go in and I can see all of my files. And so this stick figures file did have all of those different individual elements. So you can see, these here. These are all of the PNGs. I am going to work with the SVGs because of the fact that Kittl will allow us to change the colors if we want. And depending on the color of the apron or shirt that you're putting the item on, you may need to change those colors. All right, so next thing you're going to want to do is, if you have never used Kittl before, you're going to want to go to Kittl. It's spelled Kittl.com. And again, if you use the link below, I believe you get it's either a 14-day or 30-day free trial. And so what you're going to want to do here is when you first come in, you're going to want to make sure that you set your artboard size and not use the default. So I just clicked on New Project. And so it's going to open up this window here. You want to change PX, which stands for pixels, to inches, and then you want to change this DPI, which is dots per inch, to 300. And you can see it's made our artboard 20 inches by 20 inches. Now, you could leave it at that. You could make it a little bit smaller. Honestly, I like to leave it at 20 inches. I like to design at that larger size. Even though I'll probably never print a transfer that's 20 by 20 inches, you can always downsize to a 10 inch or 5 inch or whatever size transfer you need for your project. The challenge is in the reverse. If you set your artboard only at 5 inches and you need to increase the size of your transfer to, let's say, 10 inches, well, if your resolution was set at 300 to start with, when you double the physical size of your art file, you are then cutting your resolution in half. So now our resolution would be something closer to 150 DPI, which is really not ideal when you are printing apparel, whether you're going to be using this file for DTF transfers or if you're uploading it to a print-on-demand website. You really want to make sure that you're at least at 300 DPI, the physical size of the transfer that you're going to be ordering, to ensure that you're going to get a nice, crisp, clear design printed. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit this create button, and so now we're in our artboard. Now the other thing that I like to do is click on the artboard, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to change my color, and I'm just going to make it something that's slightly shaded. And the reason that I like to do that is because it makes it easier for you to be able to identify what elements in your design are white and what is transparent, meaning your shirt or your apron would show through that area of your design. If you are printing DTF transfers, it's important to note that our printers do print white, so it's really important for you to consciously decide whether you want an element to be printed in white or if it should be printed transparent. You'd want to make that necessary change in your file. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do, so again, we're working on making this Father's Day apron. So the next thing we want to do here is we're going to upload all of those elements that we just downloaded from Creative Fabrica. And again, I have already done that, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can see I've got my clip art, I've got my grill master, I've got my Polaroid frame, and then I had also uploaded some pictures of my kids and my son's family, so that way I can include that in the apron. But to be able to upload that file or your elements, we're just going to go up here to this upload button. Wherever you save them on your computer, you're going to go ahead and download, and here we'll go into this Grill Master. Again, I want this SVG file, so you can either single click on it and then you can click open, or you can just double click on it, and you'll see in a moment it's going to load in here, and it will automatically pop into your artboard. All right, so now I liked the font that I used on this, so I want to get that font name. Looks like this was called Black River. All right, so we're going to go over here, and the first thing I'm going to do is, and again, you can make this say whatever you want, or not say whatever you want. So I liked, I found an idea just kind of looking on Etsy at some popular sellers, saw that there was an apron where it said this, and then it had an image. So this is going to say this, Dad Grill Master is loved by. And so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to click this capital T, lowercase t, and I am going to add a headline, and then I am going to click away back and move that up here. Now by double clicking, you can come in here, and so over here is your list of all of your font options, and so you can just scroll and there are literally hundreds if not thousands of them. Your recently used fonts will always be up at the top under the recently used section, so I'm going to change that to, let's see here, it's got to be highlighted. I deselected it. Actually, it's like, oh, I know what I did. I did not use that. I used one of these kind of like pre-made templates. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to click on that and delete it. And I'm going to click on this Golden Times. And if I hit Control A, that's going to select everything. And then I'm just going to type the word this. And as you shift it around, you'll get some dotted lines that will help you confirm whether or not you have your items centered. And again, I'm going to go ahead and select that, and I'm going to copy it. Oh, didn't copy it. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it. Loved by. Okay. And now I just need to make this a little bit wider by pulling these little sidebars so that way I can get it to fit all on one row. And again, I'm going to kind of shift it around until I see those dotted lines so that way I know that I have this all highlighted, centered. You can use once you click on an item, you can use your arrow keys to shift up, down, left to right. Now, what I want to do is I want to actually move all of this up because I need to fit my Polaroid frames down here on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in this empty area. I'm going to click and drag. And as I draw this box over the full element, you can see now all of my designs are highlighted. Now, the other thing that you can do to kind of make your life a little bit easier is if we click these three dots and we go to group, now we've basically just told Kittl to act like this is all one image. So now when you click on here and you want to move this around, it's going to move it all together. And then also if you want to resize it, it's going to keep everything together and it will resize your image. Now, I do like to get as close to the edge as possible so that way when you are ordering your DTF transfers, you don't have a lot of transparent space around the perimeter, around the edges of your design. So you'll have basically a truer measure of what size you're going to be printing at. Now, one thing that I notice here is I've got this text element closer to this area of the design, and this element is further away. So I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to go to ungroup, which is basically going to break this apart. And now it gives me the ability to shift that text to where I want it. And again, I'm going to click over here and highlight everything and right click and select group again. So now that I've made that adjustment, I feel like I like that a little bit better. All right, so going back here, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back over to where I uploaded all of my images, and I'm going to click on this Polaroid frame and basically resize it, and we can drag it and drop it, and you can use this little arrow here to make it angled at whatever you want. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. So sometimes you kind of have to just keep coming back and playing around with each of the elements until you get the sizing where you want it. Now that I have this in here, I'm going to right click, I'm going to say copy, and I'm going to paste, and I'm going to paste again, because I have 3 kids, and so I want 3 different frames, and you can just kind of twist and turn however you want them to appear. And now once you have them kind of where you want them, so you can see here this frame is overlapping the is loved by, so you can either move it, shrink it, adjust it, or we can right click on it and we're going to say send it to the back. And now you can see the frame has been put behind the text. And so we're going to do the same thing here, send to back. And now again, that's behind it. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is bring in our photos. So this is my daughter Madison. Many of you may have talked with her on the phone. She works in our customer service department. Now what I like to do is kind of rotate the image so that it's at a similar angle to this frame. And then you can either grab these bottom corners to adjust the size of the photo. Now I want to make sure that I can see a little bit of the frame behind it, because what I'm going to do next is right click and I'm going to say to the back. So now you can see that her photo is in the back of the Polaroid frame, but you can also see that it's kind of peeking out at the top here. So I'm going to use this crop button and I'm going to bring that down. Done. And now you can see that that photo has been put behind, in terms of layers, behind that Polaroid film. I'm sorry, behind that Polaroid frame, and it looks like a Polaroid photo. Now, I did mention if you click on this Polaroid here, this frame, over here is where the color is determined. So if you wanted to change that to be white, so the hex code for white is all Fs. Let's see. And now we've just turned that to white. So depending on what type of background you're going to be putting this on, you can change the color. But I want to keep it black because I have other black elements. And now, let's see here. This is my daughter Grace. And so again, I'm just kind of tilting this. And I'm going to shrink it. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to send to back. And then here is my son Ryan and his family. So on this I'm going to actually crop it. This is a very rectangular shape, and as you can see, we need it to fit in the square. And to make it a little bit easier on me, before I even put it in there, I'm going to crop it down and get rid of some of this extra space here. This is my grandson Jackson and my beautiful daughter-in-law Courtney. All right, so now we're going to move this around, tilt, and shrink this. I just kind of have to play around with this to get it just right. And I'm going to send it to back. Now, unfortunately, it's cutting off my grandson's face, but I think you guys get the point here. There's like a little gap there that I don't like. All right, and now there's a gap over there that I don't like. All right, I think we're looking good. All right, so now basically this is the completed version of the photograph with the frame. So now the next step in order to get this to your DTF printer As I mentioned, I'm with We Print You Press. We're out of Spring Hill, Florida. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this share button over here. And I need to move. I don't know if you're seeing these controls. Okay, so when I click share, now I'm going to go to download project. And what I'm going to do here is just confirm that, okay, my artboard's 20 by 20. Right now I'm going to do a PNG, or you could change it to an SVG or whatever format you want. We typically recommend a PNG as long as it is, larger than the transfer size or at size that you need for transfer, and that your resolution, your DPI is 300. I'm going to check this remove background, and what that means is this kind of beigey background is not going to be a part of your design when we export it. And that's a good thing, because if we were to include that as part of the design, then when you get your transfer, this design is basically going to look like a giant square, and it's just not necessary. So you can make it look very professional by removing that background. I also want to check the box to optimize quality, because quality can never be, you can always do better. And then I'm going to click download. And again, you'll see this. Oh, did it do it? I'm going to click download. I don't know why it's not going. There it goes. And so you can see it just downloaded. Probably just did it twice. I'm kind of impatient if you can't tell. Yep, it did it twice. And so now both of those files have been exported. And you can see on this preview here where there is no background. So, and obviously this is kind of hard to see because of the black background, but you can see the black lettering there, and this is going to look super cute when it is printed as an apron. In fact, I think I'm even going to make this for my husband, although he doesn't really grill much. So maybe I'll change that design out. But anyway. All right, so now I'm going to quickly show you, before I do the stick person version of this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over to the We Print You Press website. Now, depending on how many of these transfers, hopefully you're able to maybe offer these to other friends and family and customers to see, who else wants to do some customized aprons or t-shirts. But if you only need a single one, then you're probably going to be better off going under custom DTF, under shop singles. And then for the transfer that we just designed, since this is, so all of our measurements on our single transfers refer to the longest side. And so you can see that, this, the height is taller than the width. So you can see the widest points and here, and then the tallest points and here, and here. So what I would recommend is if you only need one transfer, then you would go under our custom DTF, shop singles by size, and you can order any size that you need. If this were me, I would probably order that at either the 12 or 12 and a half size. And I'm going to just real quick show you how to go in here. And here's where you can choose file, and you can upload your file from your computer. Downloads. And so here you can see, I'm just going to double click that, and now it's importing that file. It's in the process. And then it will show you a preview. Hopefully that won't take too long. I don't know what is going on with my internet today. So anyway, there we go. Add this image. So we want to say add. And then we're going to go to add to cart. And if you don't need anything else, then you can go to checkout. But I am going to also show you how to use a gang sheet builder. Because if you do need to order a bunch of these, the most cost-effective way is going to be through a gang sheet. So we're going to use the automatic gang sheet builder. And you don't need to select the size. The automatic gang sheet builder is going to automatically adjust the length based on the number of transfers and size of transfers that you upload. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create Gang Sheet. And this is going to open our Gang Sheet Builder. And then the first thing I'm going to do is click Upload Files. And again, this is under my Downloads folder. I'm going to double click that. I want to accept the terms of use on the Gang Sheet Builder. And you can see now, if you had other aprons that you were making for other people, then you would just go back into Upload Files, and you could select a bunch of them. So you could click on the first one, pull your Control key, and click each image that you want to upload, and then hit Open, and you can see it's going to load all of those designs. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to delete the ones that I'm not ordering. All right, so you can see it brought this image in, and it's showing that it's about 18.38 inches wide, and it's almost 20 inches tall. So again, depending on what size you want, you're going to adjust just one of those dimensions, and then the other dimension will automatically adjust to keep your aspect ratio balanced. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these. Now, if I wanted to get a couple of them, then obviously you're just going to change your quantity. I'm going to put 6 in there just so that way you can see. Now, down here is a red, yellow, green kind of status bar, and this is referring to the quality of your image. So you want to see that it's green is obviously ideal. Once it's 300 or higher, you're good. Your eye really can't process much better than 300 DPI. But as you start to fall below, really below 200 is when you're probably going to want to work on your file and figure out a way to design it at a larger size so that way you can get a higher resolution. So now once that's done, we're going to go ahead and click Generate New Gang Sheet. And here you can see, all right, if I wanted to print 6 of those, it's going to take a 96-inch gang sheet to print that. So I'm going to go ahead and click Confirm My Design. And then here is where you can type in your email. By putting a check in this box, you're agreeing that you are not uploading any designs that you do not have the rights to as far as copyright and trademark. And then you're going to click Add to Cart. And then it's going to bring you back to your cart out here, and you can see there's that individual image that we uploaded before, and here is the gang sheet. And then from here you would just, check out, or, you could shop some of our ready-to-press designs if you're trying to get to free shipping at $75. Or you could, go back and add some more custom transfers as well. And that is pretty much the entire process. So let me just show you real quick. If we wanted to go back to this design and we wanted to get rid of the photos, and we decided that we would much rather use stick figures instead, then we could just click on those stick figures that we want to include. Let's say we want this little girl. And you could get real creative if you want. You could add text underneath if you wanted to add a name. Let's see here. We have a dog. We have a yellow lab. So we'll put our dog in there. And now I need... All right. And again, you can just kind of arrange them however you prefer. Now, I don't exactly have them all centered with the image. So shift there. That looks like it's a little bit more centered. And so again, now we could go ahead and share this if we want to go ahead and download it. We're going to click Download Project. Saved the check marks from before. I'm going to click Download, and in a moment you'll see that file bounce up to Download folder. And if we wanted to go back to our gang sheet and add that new design on here, I'm just going to click this edit button here. It's going to go back to our gang sheet builder. And again, we're going to go to upload files. And now we can grab that new design in our downloads folder and bring that one in here. And again, now you're going to just adjust. Oh, did not get rid of my background. Why did it do that? Sometimes it's almost like it glitches. So let's try that again. So I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. I think it worked better that time. I don't know what happened. I'm going to delete this. Yes, remove that. Upload. Downloads. I don't know. Did it do it again? Let's see what happens. There we go. All right. And so again, make sure you adjust the dimension that is most important for your project, whether that's the height or the width. And then in this case, we're going to want to hit generate new DTF sheets. Yes, we want to replace them. And you want to make sure that you confirm your designs, go back and add to cart. And this is going to open up the cart. And now you can see that you only have that 196-inch gang sheet. It was able to fit that additional image on there without any problem. And then you would just check out as normal. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop those in the comments. You can always reach out to us via email or phone number. All of our contact information is located on our website at weprint.com. If you found this video helpful, would love for you to hit that like button. And if you want to receive more helpful tutorial videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching.